Okay guys, so today we're going to be talking about a secret Mr. Stitchy Easter egg that I've found inside of Piggy Book 2 Chapter 9. Now hopefully by now you guys have had time to play through Book 2 Chapter 9. Obviously we're going to be talking about some big spoilers in this, so if you haven't played it yet, here's your warning. But with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into this because there is a lot to discuss. So I assume that most of you guys probably already know about the secret trap inside of this chapter. Basically what you have to do is once you complete the map, you can go and you can grab the candle and you can click the various eyes of Insolence that are hidden around the map, and whenever you do that, it spawns in this thing here. This is the new trap that piggies get to kind of catch vent campers. And what this is, well, at least what it seems to be, is some sort of weird Insolence piggy monster, or like a goo monster or something like that. Basically, it is clearly related to the eyes of Insolence, it's clearly related to the Insolence, and it's clearly related to Mr. Stitchy. Now, how this weird being works is it comes out of a portal, and then you have to lead it back down into its tomb. And down in the bottom of the map, there are actually 3 different tombs. Now, we're going to talk about the other 2 tombs here in a second, but in the middle tomb, the tomb where the monster actually goes in, basically what you do is you put it in there, the tomb closes, and then you get the trap. But inside of that tomb, and the reason why we know this is related to Mr. Stitchy, or these tombs are, is because there is actually a note inside of it. This is a Mr. Stitchy note, as a lot of people call it, and right in the middle of it, it says soon. Mr. Stitchy is going to be coming soon, probably in the next chapter or so. Now, what's interesting about this isn't really so much the monster itself or this tomb, it's actually the other 2 tombs. Because just like with the middle tomb, we can see this weird Insolence goo coming out of the other 2 tombs as well. In fact, it's all over the ground here. Now, what's interesting about the other 2 tombs is that they actually have text on them. They actually have a label. The middle one doesn't, but the other 2 do. And in fact, the first one says, "Here lies King Milo. May he rule over the realm of the dead for eternity." And then if we go to the next tomb, it says, "Here lies Queen Viola. May she continue her fierce conquest in the afterlife." Now, these 2 tombs here give us a huge hint towards Mr. Stitchy. A huge, like, I can't even tell you how huge of a hint this is. This is a pretty big discovery, and I'm about to tell you why. So what I've done is I've went and I've searched through Google, I've searched through the internet for Queen Viola and, what was the king's name? Queen Viola and King Milo. I've searched through Wikipedia, I've searched through all the sources of the internet, and I can't really find anything that seems to reference these. Like, these seem to be made up characters by MINITOON. They don't seem to be referencing any one character in real life or any one person in real life. So you might think that, okay, well, these are just completely made up characters, and that's kind of the end of this Easter egg, right? It's just a little cool hint here, but actually no. There's actually another hint in another part of this map that gives us clues as to what exactly or who these people were. Right next to the tomb room, there's actually a maze room, and inside of the maze room on the floor is a note. Now, the thing about the maze room is it's random each time. It's hard to search through it, it's hard to get through it. That's kind of the point of it being a maze. And on the floor of one of the rooms in the maze is a note that says, "This room is peculiar. What purpose does and did it serve on with the expedition?" Now, this, along with words on the tombs such as eternal or afterlife or fierce conquest or realm of the dead on this one, these actually pretty much tell us exactly who are in these tombs. Now, for the people that are big history nerds, quick history lesson for you here, alright? You may already know this, but there's actually a pretty big ancient civilization that was big on tombs, and what they did is whenever they died, they put themselves in the tomb. They actually built mazes around the tombs so that grave robbers couldn't find it. Now, hopefully you guys know exactly who I'm talking about here, but if you don't, it's the Egyptians. What the Egyptians would do is whenever they died, whether it was in a pyramid or some other burial ground, they would actually build maze rooms around their graves because they would fill their graves with, you know, cool treasures and gold and valuables, and they didn't want grave robbers to get that, so they built mazes around them so that the mazes would trap the people trying to get in, right? They couldn't find the way through the maze, they would, oof, and then their tomb and their bodies would be safe. So when it comes to these 2 tombs here, I'm pretty sure that they're actually Egyptian. King Milo and Queen Viola here were probably Egyptian rulers thousands of years ago, and then this was the tombs that they were put in. I don't know why, I don't know where this is exactly, but this is what it seems to be. Now, there's actually another big hint towards this, because in just the last chapter, chapter 8, I know it seems like a long time ago now, but you guys remember the mummy skin, right? The mummy skin's name was Kamosi, and Kamosi was actually a pharaoh. He was actually a real person during the Egyptian Empire thousands of years ago. And oddly enough, he also came out on the boat that was, well, going to Doveport, where it would seem all these other Egyptians are in tombs. And being that there are Insolence goo, or whatever you want to call the goo on the ground, and it seems to be coming out of these other 2 tombs, and of course you had the Insolence monster go in the 3rd tomb, it would appear that the Insolence is somehow linked to, I guess, these Egyptians? Now, what's really funny about this is Dexter plays in Red Ninja ninja. You guys know the Piggy animators. They do a bunch of Timmy and Piggy animations. They actually made a whole animation series about Mr. Stitchy being an ancient Egyptian like god or something like that. And well, he basically cursed the world, and that's how the Piggy infection started. And that's what the Eye of Insolence is, and that's what all of this is. He made an entire series about it. Now, obviously, this is just a cool little theory that he made into a series, but actually, that's kind of what it seems to be right now. Somehow, the Insolence seems to be linked to the Egyptians, so maybe Dexter Plays is correct here. Now, of course, we have yet to find out anything conclusive about Mr. Stitchy himself. We keep finding out more and more about the Insolence, but we have yet to find anything about Mr. Stitchy, maybe in the next chapter or something. But at this point, it would not surprise me if Mr. Stitchy is some sort of ancient Egyptian or some similar civilization that was active during that time period, and that's what all of this is about. Anyway, I figured this out. I had to make a video on it. I think it's pretty interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified of more videos and theories just like this, and keep using star code RECRUIT when you're buying your Robux and Roblox Premium. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!